to today's Starseed Healing Circle. So today we have the coaching session, and we are going to continue with where we left off with all of our other information. So our reading we had, the healing that we had, the attunement that we had, and hopefully in today's session you'll gain a few new techniques or approaches or things that you can incorporate into your life and start working with. So let's start with a tune in. And today we're working with the Arcturian Starseed Activation. And as always, what I do is I dial to see which light code we are tuning in with. So the Arcturians are master healers. So we can use this energy and float on this. So perhaps close your eyes. Take a nice slow deep breath in and out. And just take a moment to think about what it is that you want to focus on in today's session. Yes, we are doing a coaching session, a mentorship session, but perhaps you've got some questions or some experiences that you want to bring to the table today. And so as we are doing group work, we are taking this opportunity to tune in to the group dynamics. And so when you're ready, open your eyes and allow your eyes to trace the light code, or perhaps just gently rest upon the light code wherever it feels comfortable. I like to use the light code as a labyrinth for my eyes, allowing my eyes to trace the lines while focusing on my goal. No need to interpret or translate. Just allow yourself to be. Stay here as long as you need. Okay, so in today's session, this is the mentorship or the coaching session. So I'm going to bring tools and techniques to the table that I feel could help you. I'm basing the information on the information we received in the reading, and also just general patterns that I see in the month with my clients and what they're going through, and certain things that I keep saying to the clients over and over and over and over. So it's tools and techniques and approaches that could potentially help you, because I feel if a lot of the clients are picking up on similar patterns and behaviors, then most likely that is a bigger pattern that's out in the world as well. So let's have a look. I have 3 techniques that I want to look at today. And then I want to talk a little bit about fear and psychic attacks and how you can approach that. So let's go over into our slide. And our first technique is the T-bar technique. Now the T-bar technique is to bring balance to your system. This is balancing left and right hemispheres of the brain. It's bringing internal balance through, and just balance in general. This is a really good technique to do first thing in the morning, and also first or last thing at night before going to bed. We're working with an archetypal image or symbol called the T-bar, and there's generally 3 shapes that come up for most people. If you ask them to visualize a T-bar, it's either a cross or a big T, hence the name, or the Ankh symbol or something similar to the Ankh. And the idea is that we are visualizing, or not visualizing, we are perceiving what our T-bar looks like for ourselves energetically, and then we use our unlimited power of our mind to fix it. So usually what we would do is, as we move into the visualization, your first stage is just to observe, not trying to change anything. You're moving in, you're observing, And then once you've made your observation, then you make a change. So we don't want to dive in and say, oh, okay, my T-bar is perfect. No, let's just observe it and see what it looks like. So here's how you would go about with this particular technique. Let's close your eyes. Let's take a nice slow deep breath in and out. Bring your focus and your attention and your awareness to your third eye. So it's in the middle of your brow, or even better, in the middle of your head. As you bring your focus and attention there, see a royal blue. So this is where we use our mind to create that royal blue. And it usually comes through as a sphere, like a royal blue sphere, and it doesn't matter what the size is. Just get that blue going. And usually once you've got your blue going, within a few seconds, your T-bar automatically will appear. Doesn't matter what the color is. And here we're just taking an observation. What does this T-bar look like? Is it nice and balanced? Is it lopsided? Is the bar maybe at an angle? Is it twisted? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Then, using the unlimited power of your mind, you're going to go and you're going to change those things, get the balance going, make sure the arms are the same length, the bar, the central bar is sitting right in the center. And again, it doesn't matter whether you see a T or a cross or an unk. There's not one that's better than the other. They are all equal. Usually, once you have it in place, you may find that it's almost like it clicks into its location. Now, some people like to see a little button at the bottom that they can press to say, okay, click it in and stay there. I'm not one of those ones. For me, it feels a little bit gimmicky, but it works for some people. If you feel you need a little button that you press to keep that balance, do that. I like to just use middle fingers, press on the mastoid process behind the ears to lock that in. And that locking in approach, you can open your eyes when you're ready. That locking in on the mastoid process is from polarity therapy. So that's just a different healing modality. And I find that works very well for me. Now, occasionally it may happen that you try and find this T-bar and it's just not visible. You just don't see it. It's not coming up for you. Then that happens occasionally. That's okay. If that happens, then visualize a circle instead. And this you can use brute force of your mind to create this. Make a circle using your mind. So first get your blue going in your third eye area. Once you've got that, make a circle, put a dot in the middle. What you may find is that if you see the circle, there may be a dot, but the dot is sitting somewhere else within the circle. So then using your unlimited power of your mind, you would bring that dot to the center. So this is an alternate technique that you can use if you, for some reason, do not see the T, or if the T does not come up. And this is equally powerful as the T-bar. So both of them can work, the circle or the T. Generally, the T works well. Now, the T is also great because the T connects with our third eye, the pineal gland, the pituitary gland. It also connects with the thymus and the thyroid gland and the hypothalamus within the brain. So not only does it bring balance and harmony to the left and right hemispheres of the brain, or to our internal, external, future, past sides, but it also brings balance within our hormonal system. So really, really simple technique to do, but very powerful. So first thing in the morning and last thing at night. Okay, so next I want to look a little bit at a chakra balance. So I have had some clients who do their own chakra balances, and then they do daily chakra balances. And then when they come to me, we still find that the chakras are out. So sometimes they find it a little bit exacerbating because, like, what's going on here? It's like, we know No, I can't find my word, whatever. So they are trying to do their chakra balance, but for some reason it still swings out. So there is a nice way that you can work with the chakras that I don't think people really talk about. Maybe people don't know about it, but the usual approach is that people will see the chakras as vortices in front of the body, and they will spin those. But what happens now is that you're spinning the energy in a specific area, front and back, maybe. Sometimes people only do the front, and all you're doing is you're swirling the energy around in the one spot. So the technique that I prefer to use is where we work with you in a cylinder, and we take one cylinder color at a time. So this is how you would go with that. So we'll just talk about it first, and then we can go through the experience of it, because it's very important that you experience these for yourself as well. Okay, so first of all, what we'll do is you'd visualize that you are standing inside a cylinder. You can visualize that it's a clear cylinder, perhaps a glass cylinder, perspex cylinder, whatever works for you. And you've got enough space around you, front, back, behind, and all of those. Then what we do is we bring brown in up until just below the base chakra. So if you wanted to, you could imagine that you bring a brown liquid into this cylinder. Get the brown all the way around. So front, back, sides, even. You are right in the center of this brown color. Then what you do is imagine this brown cylinder that you have starts to spin. Okay, so it can spin clockwise or counterclockwise. There's no judgment. There's no one direction that's better than another. I usually find that once I see the cylinder, I intend that it must start spinning, and it automatically starts spinning in a direction. Sometimes I'll go, oh, okay, we're going this direction today. So I'm not trying to make it spin in clockwise or counterclockwise. I allow it to spin. My intention is spin, and then I follow how it is spinning. So it'll spin around with you standing in the center. Okay. And it doesn't have to spin very fast. We're just wanting to get it like a little bit of a motion going with this. Once you've got this motion going and you've got the color stable while it's spinning, then we bring on top of that another layer, which is in the level of the base chakra. And we bring into this a pale red. So you'll notice that the brown is like brown, but from here on up, we're going to be working with pale colors, like pastel colors. So you bring your red in, and then what you want to do is you want to make sure that you've got your brown is spinning, right? Now you've got your red that comes on, you want that to start spinning in the same direction and in the same speed. So what you may find that as the brown is spinning, the red comes, but it's lagging a little bit, or it's moving a little bit faster or something, or it may even spin in the wrong direction. We want everything to spin in the same direction. And again, it doesn't matter whether it's clockwise or counterclockwise. Just follow with how it spins. If it's spinning in a different direction, then you want to fix that using the unlimited power of your mind. And you want them to spin at the same speed. Once you've got that balance going, then we bring the next layer in, and we bring a pale orange into that. And this is in the level of the same level as where the sacral would be. And we spin until they all meet and they are all spinning in the same direction. So usually as we put the next layer of the cylinder on, it's going to be the top one that needs to match, that needs to come into resonance with the bottom ones, because we didn't move on until the red and the brown were in sync. Then we get the orange in sync. Once the orange is in sync, we bring a pale yellow layer on top of that for the solar plexus, and we spin that to match. Then we bring a pale green on top of that and get that to match. Then we've got our pale blue or ice blue in line with the neck and the throat. Then you bring a royal blue in, so like a lighter version of that. And then we've got violet on top. Once we've got each of those layers spinning in sync with each other, then you speed it up. Now you want it to spin faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. And you keep spinning until they go even lighter in color and they turn into white. So we've got a perfectly pure white light cylinder with us on the inside. You can stay here as long as you like. And then what you do when you are ready to come back, you can't change that all to a brown. So the entire cylinder goes brown, and what the brown does is it anchors and grounds and reconnects. Okay, at this point you may stop, and then you can go, okay, then you can open your eyes and you can come back to normal life, and you can let this image go. The chakras will sort themselves out. If you wanted to, you could go further on and put different colors around here. Usually it'll be an indigo layer, perhaps the orange layer, perhaps a pink layer, or a gold layer. So layering and things like that, I'll talk about those in another lesson. But for today, up to the brown is good. Okay, so let's go back and we are going to go through this now together. And this is where you're going to get your experience. So let's close your eyes. Nice, slow, deep breathing. Visualize or imagine yourself in a clear cylinder. This could be glass, crystal, perspex, whatever works for you. There's no judgment here. It's just a container. And make sure that the cylinder is big enough so that you can decide, do I want it right here next to me? Or do I want my arms outstretched? And that's going to be the limit of my cylinder. You decide how big you want the cylinder to be. Now, visualize that you're bringing in brown into the cylinder, into the base of the cylinder. So from underneath your feet, all the way up to just below your base chakra. And this is whether you're sitting or standing, it doesn't matter. Bring the brown in. And then intend or will the brown cylinder to start spinning. And it doesn't have to go fast. It can be nice and slow, just at a nice pace. Don't judge the direction, just allow it to spin, whether it's spinning clockwise or counterclockwise. Both are correct and both will work. There's not one that's better than the other. You may find as you're spinning this cylinder that you may feel sensations within the body. Just observe those. Once you have your brown spinning, then we're going to add our pale red on top of that, in line with the base chakra, sort of taking up the space of perhaps the hips and the hip bone. Once you've got this color, this pale red in on top of the brown, allow it to spin in the same direction and the same speed as the brown cylinder. And this is a nice slow spin. It's almost like it's on idle, so we're not rushing it. Just wanting everything to come into harmony with each other. Pay attention to any sensations you feel. If there's any discomfort or pain or anything like that, just observe it, because you may find as it's happening, it's almost like things dislodging, and there may be little movements, tweaks, or whatever. Just observe them. Once you've got the pale red and the brown spinning where's my words? I'm zoning out already. In sync. Then we're going to add our pale orange on top of that. This will be around the area of the hips and sort of maybe just above the navel. And allow this to spin in the same direction, same speed as the red and the brown. Again, it's a nice slow spin. Be aware of any sensations you feel. Don't judge them, just observe them. Next, we are adding a pale yellow layer on top of that, sort of in line with just above the navel, so where the sacral was, up until under the sternum. Get the yellow to spin in the same speed and direction as the pale orange and the pale red and the brown. Just be aware of any sensations you feel. Next, we're going to bring our pale green on top of that. That's in line with your torso, your chest, your ribs, and just under your shoulders, perhaps. I usually find that there's a bit of a change in breathing by the time I get to this location. Be aware of any twitches, any adjustments that you need to do. Sometimes the body will just do its own adjustments as you get there. Get it to spin in the same direction and speed as the pale yellow, pale orange, pale red, and brown. Next, we bring our ice blue on top of that. This is in line with your throat, upper parts of the shoulders, jaw, and just under the ears. Be aware of any sensations. And allow everything to spin and rotate. Be aware of any sensations within the body. Next, we bring our royal blue above that. This is in line with the ears and the third eye. Bring the color in and spinning same direction and speed as all the other colors. Occasionally, as we move through these colors, you may find that even though you're intending or willing that a pale color must come through, whether it's pale red, orange, yellow, green, blue, royal blue, you may find that a darker color creeps in, or perhaps it's a little bit too vibrant or too whatever. Just use your unlimited power of your mind to make sure that all these colors remain nice, soft, neutral, not neutral, but pastel colors. You may also find that as we add colors in, that some of the other chakras may light up a little bit. For now, we're trying to keep all of them just nice and pastel, nice and light, so they're all sort of around the same tones. Get them to move same speed, same direction. Next, bring in the violet section above that. This is going to be in line with the top of your ears to above your head. Moving at the same speed, same direction. Okay. Now, once everything is spinning the same speed and the same direction, and they're all sort of clicked into the same synchronization, Now we're going to start spinning it faster. So if you need a little button that you press, that's going to speed it up. Do that. I just use my mind for that. And will orientate that must spin faster and faster and faster. And so we want to keep spinning until they all turn white. So again, don't rush it. Use the unlimited power of your mind. Spin, spin, spin. Faster, 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 faster. Make sure that all the cylinders are spinning in sync. So there's not one or two lagging behind. They all stay in sync. Make it spin faster and faster until the whole cylinder is pure, bright, white. And you may find that you get to that point where it spins so fast that it's so white, and it's so fast that it looks like it stands still and it's not moving anymore. That usually is a good place to be, where it's spinning so fast it's not even moving anymore. And just be in this moment. Feel it, sense it, be it, experience it. Notice any sensations or changes within the body. When you're ready to return to this space, imagine that you're pulling up brown from the base all the way up to the top above your crown, and convert this entire cylinder to brown. And the brown is a good anchoring and grounding energy. Again, I like to press middle finger on the mastoid process behind the ears to lock this in. You may choose a little button that you visualize that you press, or whatever works for you. And then when you're ready, you may come back to this time and space. This is all about the experience. So let me know how you experience this. Send a comment or whatever, send messages. Always like to hear what you're going through. Okay, so that is a good way to balance your chakras. And in this specific technique, the balance holds a lot longer than if you were to swirl it sort of like this. And I think that once you've experienced this, if you try and do it the other way, you'll feel what I'm talking about. Try it for yourself. When you've got time, try and do your chakra balance the way that you normally do it, or the way that you've normally have done it before, like spinning little balls, or maybe visualizing a different color in a different spot, and then try it again with the cylinder and maybe alternate between the two techniques, and then see which one feels better for you. And then let me know what you find. Okay, next technique. This technique is something that we do when you are in a space where you feel uncomfortable. Now, this could be anything. It could be in a space where you are with family and friends and you're just not feeling comfortable there for whatever reason. Perhaps you're feeling attacked, or you're feeling not so nice, or you may feel a little bit vulnerable. This technique can also be used if you are being attacked, or if you feel that you are being attacked by an external force, whether it's a person or an energy. Or what we found quite heavily in the last maybe a year, if not longer, is that there's very, very strong external forces blocking and attacking and weakening, or trying to weaken, anybody who does light work. And I've seen this with people's Instagram profiles being closed down, with people being shadow banned. I'm seeing people being attacked and all kinds of things. So there's lots of that happening at the moment. So this particular technique is a really good way to protect yourself. And protection is, I'm using the term lightly here, and I'll talk about that in a second. But again, this technique, you need to use unlimited power of your mind, because remember that energy flows where attention goes. So if we are putting our attention on something and our mind on something, we can change it. We have powerful minds. We can do lots with these. And again, experiment with this and see how that works for you. So I call this an energetic phase out. Okay, so what you do here is you start off by visualizing yourself in your auric field. So whatever that may be, doesn't matter what the size of it is, just visualize or find where is the edge of my cocoon around me. So use your power of your mind. Just feel out away from your body. Where is your cocoon? There's no judgment here. There's no thing like, oh, it needs to be this big and this is where it is. It's okay if it's small, and it's okay if it's a little bit wonky as well. If it's a little bit off to the side, that's okay. We don't worry about that. All we want to do is find the edge of your cocoon of light around you. Okay? Once you've got that, you use your unlimited power of your mind to pull that cocoon as tight around you as you possibly can. Literally imagine that you are climbing into a body glove that's the shape of your body, and it's pulled really, really, really tight, like you are being vacuum packed or vacuum sealed into this cocoon of light. So pull your auric field in as close as you possibly can. So we started off with our cocoon around us. You pulled it tight. Imagine it was like you being vacuum packed. And it's pulled right down onto your skin level. This is where your cocoon of light is sitting now. Okay. Once you are there, just bring your attention back to your physical body and tune into the energy frequency that you have there. Again, no judgment. You are just observing. And then what you do is you change, using your mind, you change your frequency of your physical body, even if it's just by like a fraction of a little bit of a hertz or whatever. Change the frequency. As you do that, your physical body phases out of sync, and then separate that from your auric field that's now been pulled really, really tight. You separate your two so that you're literally standing next to your auric field. What happens is, if you are being attacked, or if there's external influence or forces that are trying to manipulate or change or control or whatever it may be, with your auric field pulled so tight around your physical body, you then phased out your physical body to a different frequency and harmonic, and you shifted yourself next to your auric field. So what happens is the attacks or the external forces are sending their energy through to the auric field that is the placeholder for where you were, but your physical body is now sitting next to that. So what will happen is that you physically then is not affected by whatever it may be. Now, this may feel like a little bit of a weird thing to have your auric field sitting next to you. It's not going to be forever. It is usually just, you do it in situations where you just need to like almost catch your breath a little bit, and you need to get yourself sorted. So usually what we would do is, while we are now not being attacked anymore, now you can say, okay, let's catch my breath. Okay, what do I need to do? Now I can think. Because while you are being attacked, while there's forces buffeting down on you, you can't think straight. So you can't go, oh, wait, I've got this technique I can do. Oh, I can do this, or I can do this. Oh, perhaps I need to bring this into help or whatever. So with you being phased out of that, you are no longer under that fire. And then you can say, okay, let's catch our breath. Let's see what I can do about this situation. Then you can go and you can do any other padding or protection or whatever you need to do. Or you could just leave yourself phased out as you are and just leave it, because normally it will stay with you for anything from a few hours to a full day. So I find that in situations where the energy is really, really intense, if I do this, then it's a very quick way to step out of that intensity, because the intensity, especially if it's directed intensity, will continue to be directed to the energy body, which can handle it. It's my physical body that is not handling it. So phasing that out of sync, and you can decide if you want to phase up or down. Again, there's no judgment here. All we're doing is we're phasing out to give yourself a break so that you can then do what you need to do. Perhaps it is that you just need to rest. Perhaps you need to recoup. Perhaps you need to be able to find a tool or technique, or you just need to get away from wherever you are. And this allows you to do that. So there's 3 techniques for you to bring balance into your life, to balance and get your chakras all organized, and then to, this is a protection technique. And this is why I'm saying I'm using protection lightly, because we're not fighting here. All we're doing is we're phasing out of sync. So that is the techniques that I'm sharing with you today. And I hope that you can use those. Now, I also want to chat a little bit about fear and attacks, because that's something that has come up quite often with a lot of my clients. So I've got 3 rules when it comes to the healing work that I do, when it comes to entities, attachments, possessions, and things like that. And that is no panic, no drama, and no fear. No panic, no drama, no fear. And it doesn't matter which direction I do these, because I swap them around from time to time, because panic is going to lead to drama and fear. Drama is going to lead to panic and fear. Panic is going to lead to fear and drama. So it's like a vicious triangle that things just keep going around and around and around. The one feeds into the other. We have to remember here that if there are entities, attachments, or anything like that, they feed off the drama. They feed off the panic. They feed off the fear. So the more you're going to feel fear, panic, and drama, the more you are feeding those energies. So the quickest, easiest way to get yourself away from that and not being attacked anymore is to not feed into those energies. Easier said than done. I know. I've been there. We've all been there, I'm sure. But what you need to do is you need to remind yourself to calm down. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get into your breath. So the techniques that we've learned today, you can do the balancing, you can do your chakra balance, and you can phase out. Those are things that you can do all in this one go. You can do any of our other techniques that we've done before. You just need to calm down. Once you're calm, then you can look at the whole situation from a nice, quiet, calm position. Just want to see how much more I'm going to talk about this. The image that I normally bring to a person's mind is that of quicksand. If you are falling into some quicksand, if you are going to be moving around like a crazy person trying to get out, it is going to pull you deeper in. So you need to calm down. You need to slow down your breathing. You need to calm down. You need to go, okay, I'm in quicksand. I realize I'm in quicksand. Let's breathe. Let's pause. Because as you do that, you will naturally move up very, very slowly. Very slowly. It's not going to happen magically. And this is why you need to just keep talking to yourself and go, just calm down. Just calm down. Everything's fine. Just calm down. Just calm down. And stay with that. Also remember, what happens here is the energies that is attacking feed off fear, panic, and drama. If you do not give them fear, panic, and drama, because now you decide or you realize, oh, I'm being attacked, let's calm down, I'm just going to breathe and be calm. That's not going to feed those energies. Are they going to be happy? Hell no. They are going to poke and provoke and prod and try and get more of this energy out of you. So they're going to actually attack a little bit harder because you're not giving them what they need or what they want. If you can just remain calm and quiet and just go, okay, I see what's happening. They're attacking harder because I am not giving them what they want. Pause and stay with that. They will probably attack even harder. Okay. Just be patient, be calm. Imagine that it's a big storm outside. The storm is not going to be forever. The storm may get stronger, it may get crazier. Just breathe. If these energies see that they cannot get anything out of you, they will naturally leave. Just like that. There's nothing for them there. The only reason they stay is because they know that they can get something from you. Another analogy, because quicksand is a different one. We don't always get the quicksand story, because how many of us have been in quicksand before? Another analogy. You have a kitchen. Your kitchen is dirty and messy. So you've cooked a bit, you've splashed all over the place, you've dropped a few things, and you've got lots of pots and pans standing around. You've cooked a feast. You've baked, and the kitchen is just like, wow. If you look at this and go like, I don't have the energy to clean this now, I'll just leave it until tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, you walk into the kitchen and go like, oh, I don't want to do that now. Let's do it later. And you leave it for a few days like that. What's going to happen? After a few days, the cockroaches are going to come in. And they're going to go, oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. There's lots happening over here. And they are going to have a feast. What usually happens is when the cockroaches move in, we come into this and we look at that and go like, oh, evil cockroaches, get out, get out, get out. And we try and kill them all. Let's spray some poison. Let's go crazy. It's not the cockroach that's bad. The kitchen happens to be dirty. That's what we need to look at. The more you try and kill the cockroaches, the more you're going to bring in. In fact, cockroaches are actually quite adept at this. If you kill a cockroach, if it's with spray or something, the females literally shoots out an egg pod, and it's literally shoots out. I think the egg pod can fly about 2 meters from the body, and I've seen that before. Because I never believed it until I saw it myself. They shoot out an egg pod that flies at least 2 meters away from the body, where they drop the eggs. And then you have hundreds of little cockroaches coming out, not just one. So the cockroaches are there, not because they're evil, but because their job is to clean up. Your kitchen happens to be dirty, so they happen to be there to clean up. They're not bad. They're doing their job. If you don't want the cockroaches there anymore, clean up your kitchen. Simple as that. So if you clean the kitchen top to bottom, make sure there's nothing lying around, everything's packed away, everything's nice and clean. Yes, you may still have a few cockroaches floating around because they go like, well, there was food here not too long ago. This was like a feast. But eventually they'll look around and go, you know what, there's actually no food here. There's more food out in the drain. I'm moving back to the drain where there's more food for me. And so in the same way, when we have a psychic attack or an energy or an attachment or something like that, if you can clean your kitchen, then the energies or the entities or attachments will leave automatically. It's not going to happen overnight, but you need to just know that there's a process. You do what you do, and then you release it and you stay calm. No panic, no fear, no drama. Okay, I think that's going to be it for me on that topic. Occasionally we do get an energy or an entity or an attachment or an attack or a curse that's something that we cannot handle. It happens. then book a session with someone who works with that. I work with that all the time. This is what I love working with. So if you want to work with me on that, let me know. But you can do these things for yourself as well if you remain calm. If you're going to ask me to clean the entity or attachment, I'm going to come in and pick out all the cockroaches. And yes, I'll tell you, your kitchen is dirty. We may even do some work together where we say, okay, let's clean up this, let's clean up that, let's clean up that. So it may take a few sessions. But remember that ultimately your kitchen is your responsibility. So your job is to clean your own kitchen. So that's my story for today. I've given you a T-bar, I've given you some chakras, I've given you a phase out. We talked about fear, we talked about attachments and energies and things like that. I hope that you found this informative and that you can use the information in here. And because we are a nice small group at the moment, feel free to let me know what you're struggling with. Let me know what you would like to learn about. What would you like to experience more? What would you like to receive more? Remember, the mentorship and the coaching sessions is going to be coaching and mentorship. I am going to gladly and freely start sharing information with you guys, all the way from aura healing, crystal healing, whatever comes up in a session, I'm going to be sharing with you, and hopefully we can organize it in such a way that we can package those into collections that will make it easier for you to find where the techniques are. But let me know what you are wanting to learn, what you are wanting to develop, where you would like to go. So that's it from my side. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I can't wait to see you in the next session. Take care.